Hey beautiful people, this is Jennifer Kenny. I'm here to talk to you about how to tell your boss you need more support. What do you say when you're not getting what you need from your boss? How to be able to have that conversation? How do you have that conversation without sounding like you're complaining? And what if not feeling supported was actually just a simple missing conversation? By the end of this video, I want you to be able to understand how to recognize missing conversations and how to be able to use those to launch some of these, what might seem like difficult conversations, but are really just conversations about missing conversations. I also want you to be able to think and understand how to articulate what's missing from what you need from your boss, and how to be able to do this in a way that means that you're not complaining, you're actually contributing. So let's talk about missing conversations. Many times there are situations where your boss is extremely busy, has 8 or 10 people reporting to her, you all have people reporting to you, and at the end of the day, you might do a sort of check-in with yourself to go, did I have that conversation with that person, that person, that person? Okay, I dealt with that, I dealt with that. There's no way that you as one human being can identify all the conversations that need to be had in order for everything to work well. So if you accept that as an absolute truth, and I think it is, and I think as you explore it, you'll discover it is as well, you'll recognize that there are missing conversations happening all over the organization, and that one of them is impacting you directly. So when you don't feel supported, I would strongly recommend that you ask yourself, in what way am I not feeling supported? Is it just this general fuzzy feeling? Because if this general fuzzy feeling, there's not a whole lot other people can do about it. The only person who can do something about that is you. So if you feel like you're not being supported by your boss, I would ask you, in what way? Why? How is it showing up for you? What is it that you're not feeling supported about? Is it a particular thing? Is it a particular project? Is it a growth opportunity? Where is it that you are not feeling supported by your boss? Do you have this feeling of not knowing what's going on? Are you missing context for work that you're doing? So take some time to yourself and think about, what is the missing conversation that I have associated with feeling supported? So once you've got a good understanding of that, and you've got particular examples of where that shows up. So for example, it might be that you have been asked to head up a particular project and you have just started doing that project. You've been on it about 2 weeks. You're beginning to gather the information as to where the project is at. The person who was heading up the project before has left the company. You don't get to talk to them. You're trying to figure things out with the stakeholders. You're trying to understand who the major players are. And you just feel like you're sort of churning a little bit. And you also feel like your boss isn't really supporting you in terms of you understanding the totality of what's going on with the project and what the expectations are for success for that project. So that's a missing conversation. So if you think about it in terms of, this isn't something malicious that your boss is doing to you. This is simply your boss not knowing themselves all of the content and all of the understanding and all of the context and all of the history of this project, and they're not able to pass that on to you. If you're having a conversation with your boss then that says, look, I took over this project 2 weeks ago, I feel like I'm not making enough progress, or I don't feel like I'm moving fast enough, I really could do with some more support from you in these particular areas. Your boss may throw up their hands and go, look, I'd love to be able to help you, but I don't have answers to those questions myself. Then the conversation becomes one of going, who do you think might have answers to these questions? Are those conversations or meetings that I can have with them? Would you like to come to those meetings with me, or would you like me to debrief you on it after I've had those conversations? So what you've done there is you've moved from this vague feeling of not being supported to a very specific identification of where you are not being supported and in what way you are not being supported. And then if you're really smart about the conversation, you're not going in and saying, I don't feel I'm being supported. You're saying, I'm missing these things. Is this something you can help me with? Is this something you can support me in? And then what happens is your boss is either saying yes or no. It's a fairly simple conversation to be able to have. So when you feel like you're not being supported by your boss, think about it Is there a missing conversation? The other thing that happens as a result of identifying missing conversations for yourself is that you now take responsibility for your own understanding of what it means for you to feel supported. So remember, your boss cannot read your mind. There is no way that they understand what being supported means for you and not being supported means for you. They have an idea of what being supported means for anyone who reports to them, and they're trying to fill that as best they possibly can. You might have special requirements about being supported, and you might in this case, because you're taking over a big project, you're only 2 weeks into the process, and you do need a lot of support at that point. You're now moving from blame and shame and complaining to someone who is actually taking responsibility for their own need to be supported. And you're having that conversation with your boss in a way that allows them to be able to say, I can't support you any further. These are conversations you need to go have yourself. When you're done with them, yes, I'd love you to be able to come back and debrief me on them. And yes, you have my full authority and permission to go and speak to the head of this department, the head of this department, and whoever else it is that you need to talk to that you've presented to your boss. The big difference in these conversations is you've done your homework. You've figured out what it means for you to be supported, and you're simply asking for what you need in order for you to be able to do a great job. In a previous video called How Can You Continue to Enhance Your Leadership and Management Skills, I talk about the idea of courageous discomfort. Really encourage you to check out that video. It'll help you with this next conversation. There's a difference between that and performance anxiety. So performance anxiety is just a background breakdown that you have with yourself. Courageous discomfort is you identifying an uncomfortable situation or a difficult conversation that you know that you need to have in order to be able to clear your path forward. Courageous discomfort is something that is very valuable for you as you position yourself to have some of these more difficult conversations. So if you feel like your boss isn't supporting you, your courageous discomfort allows you to be able to be in wonder and curiosity and to be able to say, I wonder why it is I'm not feeling supported. I wonder what it means for me to feel supported. I wonder what my boss could be doing differently if they were to make me feel as supported as I need to be. That is part of you using that particular little tool as a way to be able to identify what needs to happen for you to bridge the gap between you feeling supported and your boss knowing that you're being supported and your boss's current ability to be able to support you. As you prepare yourself for that conversation, go check out the Courageous Discomfort video and really look at where you are in that process and whether or not you are stepping into the curiosity, the wonder, the ability to be able to deal with not being right and the ability to be able to handle failure and be able to see what it is it would take for you to really feel supported in this process. Once you have that conversation with yourself, now you've done the homework to be able to go and have the conversation with your boss. And it should actually at that point be a fairly easy conversation and a very powerful trust-building conversation. So now for a moment, put yourself in your boss's shoes. If I have someone like you reporting to me and you are a good person who wants to develop their leadership capacity and wants to be able to contribute to their organization and they are not feeling supported, do I want to know about that? I think the answer to that is absolutely yes. And do I want to be able to bridge that gap between you feeling supported and you not feeling supported? The answer to that is absolutely yes. And do I know that I can't build my own leadership capacity if the people around me don't feel supported in doing the work that I am asking them to do? Absolutely yes. So think about it in these terms. It's not that your boss is not supporting you because they want to not support you. Your boss is not supporting you because they don't know what that means for you to feel supported, or they don't necessarily support people at the level that you're looking to be supported. That's not their MO. By having this very powerful conversation with them, what you're doing is you're inviting them into a space of design with you to be able to increase their own leadership capacity so that they can make sure that the people around them feel supported, that you, in the great work that you are doing, also feel supported. So as you have those conversations, just remember, put yourself in your boss's shoes and really learn how to be able to empathize with another human being, giving them the credit of good intent and wanting to be a great leader for you. When you're able to have these level of pretty sophisticated conversations, but they're also pretty basic from a leadership and management standpoint, then I really encourage you to start thinking about your next move within the organization. Let's say that a week from now you've had a fabulous conversation with your boss. They absolutely acknowledged that that wasn't something they were able to provide for you. You went and you had the other conversations that you needed to have. You got the full picture on your project. You brought it back to your boss and you did a fantastic debrief for them that they found incredibly valuable. I'd encourage you to start looking at where your next promotion is going to come from and begin to start building those conversations. I have a promotion readiness assessment. There's a link down in the comments below. It is called getpromotedassessment.com. Go in there, do that assessment, be brutally honest with yourself, and then help cement for yourself the idea that these kind of difficult conversations actually set you up to be a much better leader and position you to be able to get promoted. I wish you the very best of luck with it.